All right, folks, good morning and thanks for joining us. We are coming to you live from Congo Town this morning, right here at the headquarters of Lone Star Cell MTN, and also right here at the LBDI Bank. But right behind us is the party headquarters of former ruling CDC. And this morning, police are gearing up and they are executing this morning the warrant, of course, to evict the Congress or Coalition for Democratic Change here from their famous party headquarters. This has been forthcoming for months and time now, and as you can see this morning we have hundreds of riot police officers who are gathered here this morning to carry out that particular evasion. But if you can look behind me, what you're looking at this morning is reaction from partisans, of course, within their party headquarters. And this morning you're hearing sounds of them beating drums. You're seeing them lighting fire right in front of the party headquarters, including they're burning tires, they're burning chairs, anything possible right here at the front of the party headquarters. So right behind us we have several security apparatus. We're talking about the joint security. We're seeing folks from the National Fire Service, we're seeing folks from the Emergency Response Unit, we're seeing folks from the Liberia National Police, in fact itself, PSU, ERU, you name the various police detachments making up the National Joint Security. They're here this morning and they will be executing that eviction. Now, come to think of it, speaking of the eviction process from the party headquarters of the CDC, this has been forthcoming. The case involved the wife of a former legal advisor to His Excellency President George Weah, Councillor Archibald Bernard's wife, who is now deceased, but it's being told that this particular property belongs to the Bernards. But the case has been in court and the owners of the property have won the case, and they've asked that the government of Liberia assist them to evict the Coalition for Democratic Change or the Congress for Democratic Change, the famous CDC, from this famous party headquarters here in Congo Town. We'll go a little closer and flash the camera and show you what's happening this morning as it relates to this particular eviction from here in Congo Town. Now, if you look this way, right here on my right hand side, you see a huge, you see police officers all in their various positions awaiting any action. Of course, from what it looks like, there is going to be action because of what is happening right here at the front of the party headquarters. You're seeing they're burning tires, they're burning anything possible, and they're making sounds, beating drums, and also throwing threatening statements from across the compound at the police officers who are here at the front of the party headquarters. Just listen closely. Now, that's the front of the party headquarters for you. But speaking of the presence of police, if this number of police officers is not sufficient enough, let's go on the other end and show you what we have. Hundreds of them are gearing up already. Follow me, Aaron. So if you're hearing from the compound of the CDC, you're hearing those threatening statements, threatening police officers, but this is what the entire road looks like currently. Just let's focus on the road. This is what the entire road looks like currently. There are no vehicles plying this particular location currently as we speak. The police have created a barricade from the old road junction right before getting at the famous Invisible Sports Park. The police have created a barricade, and then from the other end, this way, Aaron, from the other end, the Catalyst Junction end, currently there is also a barricade. So there are no vehicles plying this particular location right between Lone Star Cell, Town, Blue Crest University. All between here, there are no vehicles plying. This particular vicinity is locked down as we speak. Vehicles now will be using the Calic Junction end, and then they're using the old road end to come off right here at the Invincible Spokespark before making their way to town. So wherever you're driving from this morning, we are urging that you do not use this particular vicinity because of what we are looking at. There has not been anything like throwing tear gas or throwing stones at each other yet, but what we are looking at could eventually get into that. You're seeing fire. They are still breaking chairs, they're still burning tires, and we are seeing police officers are deploying now. From what you're looking at, you're seeing this long queue of officers. There might be, in fact, they are heading across the road. Aaron, can you focus the camera? This long queue of police officers is heading across the road, and this entire vicinity is highly secure. There are police cars moving from one end of the road to the other. Police cars moving from one end of the road to the other. If you look behind me, there's another police vehicle moving from this end. Now you're seeing that huge detachment of officers. They are going across the road. In fact, they are going very close to the fence area. Let's give it a try and see. Let's show those who are watching. This camera should have light. 1 second. So now, guys, now let's go closer, please, quickly. Let's go closer, guys. The officers, as you can see, they are getting into the compound. As you can see, police officers are jumping the fence now this morning. They are making their way into the compound. There you have it, police officers jumping the fence, making their way into the compound. And if you look closely, Aaron, come a little closer. If you look closely, the folks are running a helter-skelter in the compound. If you look closely, if we can zoom in a little bit, the folks are running helter-skelter within the compound. And then these officers have already made, this is the final one here. He's going to jump the fence. All right, the first batch of tear gas has already been thrown. Aaron, let's go. The first batch of tear gas has already been thrown. The first batch of tear gas has already been thrown. I gotta be close. You gotta be closer to me so we get sound. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Now the officers, don't go too close. The officers are going in. They're going in. They are going in. A huge number of police presence here, guys. Huge number of police presence. They are going in. There you go. Focus on the fence itself. The officers are going in. They are making their way into the compound already. Along with the sheriff. And these are the sheriffs right here. And these are the sheriffs, yes. The folks in the brown are uniform are the sheriffs. They are removing the gate. They're removing the gate. They're making their way in there. And Aaron, we're going to try as much as possible to make sure we can give it a spy and be a little civil. Let's take it easy. Let's take it easy. Now the officers have removed the gate. This is a huge fire right here. This is a huge fire right here at the gate. And now the officers are about to distinguish the fire. The officers are about to distinguish the fire. The fire truck is making its way here.
Already, and the Liberia National Fire
Service truck is making its way here. It's about to distinguish the fire this morning. So there you have it. Let's give it a try, Aaron. Let's see if we can give it a try. We can run right back in case of anything. But the officers are already into the compound. A huge number of them. A huge number of police officers are already into the compound of the famous CDC to undertake this eviction. Let's go that way. Let's go that way. There you have it. They are spreading. They are spreading out. They're spreading out. There's another group here. There is one group here in the compound. There's another group there on the other end. Right here, it's confirmed now that police officers are already into the compound of the CDC. They are yet to approach the actual party headquarters itself, but there are partisans who are over there. If you look closely, now they will move. The officers are now moving. They are now moving into the headquarters itself. Is the light on? That's okay. Now they're moving towards the building, guys. If they are all over the compound, if you look that way, there's another group of them. If you look this way, there's another group of them. There you have it. There's action that way. Let's go there closely. Quickly, let's go there. There's action that way. And they are now. This is peaceful from what it looks like. from what it looks like, the officers now the officers are asking them to remove their stuff peacefully, and they are telling them not to hurry, take their own time, and there is no one attacking any police officer from what it looks like. There you have it. Now you heard the officer, take your time, pack your things and leave. If you show the camera there, you see the lady trying to get her things off. The lady is trying to get her things off. There has been no resistance yet. There's no resistance yet from anyone. There's no resistance yet. You want to focus the camera in there? It's up to you. Now the officers are asking the residents to use the main gate. You heard it. So there are two ladies who are already departing the HQ. So this is one point where we've seen folks getting their stuff out already. But let's get to the actual party headquarters itself, where the police officers are. They're now making their move. They're now making their move to the actual party headquarters itself. And you hear the sound, move, 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 move. Now, Aaron, we have to come a little backward. Now, show the camera. If you look, you know the famous CDC building. This is it. We are right before it, and the officers themselves are right before it. And the sound is move, 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 move. And then from one group to the other, and then it appears, let's go that way. It appears all of the residents who seem to have organized to resist the police. Now the officers are going eventually in the back, and they're spreading. If you look closely in the neighborhood, there are guys running helter-skelter. There are folks running helter-skelter. If you look closely in the neighborhood, now there has been a retaliatory action from what it looks like. There's what looks like stones being thrown, and they are passing instructions around. They are now going at the back, and Aaron, we have to be very strategic and very cautious of how we are. Now the sheriff's right here. If you look closely, these are the sheriff, and they are all moving in teams, separate teams. But if you let's show the camera back, Aaron, behind you. If you can show the camera back behind me, if you look closely, it's the headquarters of the famous CDC, former ruling coalition for democratic change. If you see, the compound is completely empty, except at the main gate also, where there's a huge fire at the entry. And this entire compound now is crowded with police officers. From what it looks like, they are making efforts already to evict the place. We've seen the first action of several ladies being told to get their belongings and walk out of the headquarters quietly, with no resistance from any of them. Currently, as we speak, the police officers are in the back. We want to give it a try and see if we can. Let's just go around them. We can. Now they're calling the sheriffs. Let's see. The sheriffs are moving in now. The sheriffs are moving in now, along with a few officers. Let's hang in there. Take it easy. The sheriffs are now moving in, especially in the back. Especially in the back. Now we don't know what is anticipated here, but can you come out? We don't know what is anticipated here. We don't know what is anticipated here. We should expect the worst, especially with what we've noticed with the burning of tires, throwing of stones. This environment is in a place where you don't expect any retaliatory action. With due respect to the former ruling establishment, it was said by the national government and the police that they anticipated full cooperation this morning from authorities of the CDC. Now, and this is what you're looking at this morning in the compound of the Coalition for Democratic Change. The first team has gone towards the back of the headquarters. to execute what looks like the eviction warrant or the eviction of the former ruling establishment from its party headquarters. This giant-sized, huge environment with several structures erected by the party over the years, they still stand here. There is full electricity. There are makeshift structures also in the compound, like you see one of them right here. So right now, the first team has gone at the back of the headquarters. Well, we have not been given the green light to go there along with them, so we have to keep it tactical. All right. Okay, there is what looks like retaliatory action. We've seen officers moving helter-skelter, breaking through into the party headquarters. Now, come on, Aaron, let me show this portion of the eviction. Yeah, if you come a little closer. Now, folks, on this other end of the compound, this is another team, and this end of the compound has the property of former legal advisor to His Excellency former President George Weah. If you look closely, that gate you're looking at is the compound of Mr. Archibald Bonner, former legal advisor to President George Weah. He's the actual person with whom this controversy, if I may call it that way, is actually happening. We are informed that this property belongs to the Bernards, and of course his late wife Martha Bernard also. And but behind us is his compound. Now, these structures that you're looking at here, the officers have already entered into them, and they are asking folks to evade the place. As you're seeing them, they're knocking. You're hearing them. Please come outside. Please come outside. Police. There's nobody in there from what it looks like. Everywhere here appears to be very empty, guys. It appears that everywhere here is very empty. The police officers are doing their check from one room to the other. Now, this team is responsible. This team is responsible to look after the portion where the road leads to the famous Bonars Beach. If you know the famous Bonars Beach, this road leads to the famous Bonars Beach. Now, the team is moving in another direction. There is another team reserved to be in this location. So they will go around the yard. They will go around the yard. Now, they've created a barricade. They've created a barricade.
This exercise was announced yesterday by the police.
So there you have it, folks. There you have it. The court obviously handed down their ruling for the eviction of the CDC party headquarters. So there you have it. This team is making its way already around the compound. Aaron, follow me. Let's use this way. It's safer here.
The sheriffs are also present, putting themselves in charge of this property. Yesterday, CDC's chairman, Ganga Cole, sent the party for the
Still knocking. Still knocking. So from the officers, they aren't here to arrest anyone. They're only here to make sure that folks can get their stuffs out and depart the grounds of the CDC, as the property will now be handed over to Dempster. So now the officers will engage this structure. Now if you look behind this building, this is the back of the CDC party headquarters. Aaron, if you stand here, the officers are now moving in that direction. You see the number of them, they're moving in that direction. There are lots of structures here at the back of the headquarters of the CDC, makeshift structures. You can call them zing rounds or focus. And the sheriff is stepping the doors open. But it appears all of these shops and structures are quite empty. The folks must have already taken out everything. So there you have it. All of the smaller shops are literally empty. It appears the folks might have departed. Majority of them have left the environment already. So it appears this entire compound now has the presence of police. Complete police presence here in the grounds of the CDC. Several teams spread across the party headquarters, coming from all locations. Coming from the Congo Town end, there are police officers in that direction. Coming from the Bonas Beach end, there are almost 3 teams deployed. Coming from town at the Oro Junction, there are several teams deployed. Coming from Catholic Junction area, there are several teams deployed. In this entire environment, actually, I can say has been barricaded, and you can't make your way in here easily because the police have barricaded at this particular location. Vehicles cannot drive in this direction as we speak. And now the sheriffs have opened another location, and it appears this place is also empty, so they will not go in there. There's nothing in there. Literally, like I keep saying, lots of the shops and the structures have been cleared by those who were occupying them. But there you have it. The sheriffs will make their way in there. And right behind the headquarters, there's also a community, and the officers are entering into the community to ensure the safety of the citizens there also. Now, there are, as you look in there, this looks like an area where beverages might have been. If you look closely, there is a crate, an empty crate. They are taking mattresses. Mattresses. Everything is being thrown. There you have them. They're removing the rocks from the floor, putting out mattresses. Putting out the mattresses. All right, there's a let's go. 1 second, please. Thank you. So right here, there is a back gate. There is a back gate that leads into the neighborhood. It has been locked, and the police are trying to. You want to go in there? Yes. Okay. Let's hold on. Like, come on. The police are trying to remove the back gate here at the entry to the neighborhood, the small town community. If you know this place. Now let's show you in one of the areas. As you can see here, you only have these turning flat-looking mattresses and just a plastic chair. And it looks like now there you have it. The police officers have cracked, or they're still cracking the gate open. This is the back entry of the neighborhood. This particular entry leads you directly into the small town community here in Congo Town and goes strictly at the beach, the Bonas Beach end in the neighborhood. So let's see if we can take the camera and show you some of the items that have been put up by the police. If you go closely to the floor, you will see mattresses, bags, you know, you name it. But most of these places where we are currently, careful, Aaron. Yeah, so right here, if you look closely, there's another mattress right here on the floor. Just come on.
Yeah. Please come outside, yeah? Come outside, there's the police. Come outside, don't move. Don't scare, please. There's the sheriff. Yeah, come. Yeah, come. There's the police, yeah? There's the sheriff and the police. There's the police. Come outside, yeah? Yeah. Don't be scared, yeah? The sheriff and the police. Yeah. Please take your slippers and come outside, yeah? Take your slippers and come outside, yeah?
All right, so there's one guy. He appears quite afraid, but the police officers will not, according to the officers, they will take their own time. And this place doesn't smell good, actually. So we'll go to the next location. All right. So the officers have asked this fellow to stay in his position. Yes, if you show the camera closely, there's another structure here. There's another structure. It's been abandoned. So yes, of course, there's another room here. And if you look on the wall, you obviously see campaign flyers. And if you look in there, look what looks like junk also. But it appears this is one place where folks might have been residing. But the sheriffs are still putting the things out. Let's go in that direction and show the folks.
Is there anybody in So this guy apparently said
so the sheriffs are still moving from door to door, trying to break the doors open. The sheriffs are still moving from door to door to break the doors open. So they've already opened this one. They're making their way in there. So the exercise, the eviction exercise is obviously ongoing, folks. And the officers are still throwing stuff out. This is another mattress.
It smells so bad.
It's another mattress. The folks are still throwing stuff out. Leave the way. Another mattress being brought out, adding to several of them that have been thrown out here by police already. Clearing the place, police officers clearing the entire vicinity. And if you look closely on the floor, there are lighters. There are lighters. It looks like a handcuff patch, of course. But if you come a little closer, let me show you to the floor.
Okay, this time do already.
There's one, two lighters. There's another one there. There's another one here. Several of them. But of course, the police. These are the sheriff themselves who are taking out the stuff from the rooms. It's the sheriff themselves. And now when the sheriffs will leave, they're still throwing stuff out.
So the eviction process is on.
That's another room. So let's go in there. And of course, the sheriffs are executing the court order. They're here on the order of the court. And of course, they're now throwing stuff out. as it was made clear to residents of this particular vicinity that they will not be occupying these premises. So there you have them. They are still throwing luggages out.
Follow me quick. Follow me. Heron, follow me.
All right, so folks, there you had it. Officers still throwing stuff out. The sheriffs from the court executing the court order. Executing the court order this morning. And they've been guided by police officers who have joined them to carry out this particular task this morning. So, folks, we are going from one room to the other, one post to the other, and the sheriffs are so basically they are yet to have access to the main party headquarters itself, the edifice, but they are in the environment, they are in the compound already. But they have Aaron, if you just show the camera here, right behind us here is the main building itself, this one, but the police officers, all the sheriffs are yet to make their way in there. So let's show you. Basically they're just targeting smaller structures around the building itself before entering into the yes. So let's show you at the back here also. There is low, so have huge police presence and huge police presence. The officers are trying to so the police are trying to rescue one of these fellows who have thrown himself into the water. He, out of fear, he has thrown himself into the water, and the officers are now trying to see if they can have him rescued. If you look closely, and if you hear from his voice, he's very cold.
Hold it. You hold it? Stay. Wait in the water. Hold it. Get down. You hold it? Okay. Hold it. Hold it. Come. Okay, come. You hold it? Hold it. You hold it, we'll hold you. You hold it already? You hold it?
So you hear
be coming.
Aaron, can you focus on them, the officers? So those are the officers. As you can see, they have thrown a rope. They have thrown a rope to him, and he's trying to hold. They're trying to pull him by holding a rope, but he's coming.
Hold it. Come. Hold the rope. We'll hold you. Hold the rope.
So
you hold it. You have the rope in front of you? Yeah, money.
So there you have it. They are pulling him. The officers are pulling him to safety. I think he ran into the. Focus on them.
Congo, go. Let's go.
So he was quite afraid and threw himself into the water. So he has been rescued, and the officers are taking him to safety. So they are basically taking him to safety after he was rescued by the police. And so they're going to sit him right next to this previous fellow. So there you have it. Two individuals who have been basically taken in by the police. The previous fellow, you heard it from him, Aaron, he was asleep and he was unaware of the eviction. So the officers obviously have said they do nothing to him, but just to make sure he's safe. The other fellow threw himself into the water and the police themselves had to save him. All right, so the sheriffs are still moving in their various locations here. There's another structure that they're about to target, as you can see. So folks, they are still throwing stuff out. If you can go a little closer, there's another building here still throwing stuff out. If you go to the other end, the sheriffs are moving from one end of the building to the other. All right. So folks, wherever you're watching and following us from, you are following the eviction process here. The eviction order by the courts has been executed by the sheriffs and the Liberia National Police. And if you are watching us now, we are in the headquarters of the CDC. That's the Coalition for Democratic Change. And this place looks obviously like somewhere where food might have been sold. They're breaking out tables, they're throwing out plastic chairs. They're throwing out everything, anything possible out of these structures. So folks, the eviction continues. The eviction continues. And we are yet to see any retaliatory action. Though this morning, once we arrived, we noticed obviously the presence of young people here in the headquarters of the CDC who were burning tires at the entry. But they've all fled the party headquarters. They've all fled the party headquarters. So basically now we're only seeing the property being or the folks being evicted from the property this morning. We still see a huge presence of police. And so the police officers, the court sheriffs are already here into the headquarters of the CDC, and they are going from one structure to the other, breaking down doors and putting out stuff, chairs, tables, mattresses, you name it. So wherever you're watching, keep following us, keep watching LNTV. We're still here. Let's see if we can go at the other end of the compound and show you what the actions is like. The officers are trying to break into this structure that's right ahead of us here. And so this looks like a newly erected structure, and they've brought a tool to remove the lock. has what looks like an iron gate, and there are folks from the fire and rescue service who are carrying out this operation along with the police. And that door is being broken into. So there you have it, folks. Also, there's a lock in there.
No, we want to clean here. Oh, put it broken there. Move on there, please. Fire command. Yeah, move on there.
All right, so you heard it.
Yeah, the
fire commandment, of course, obviously. So the folks. So you heard it. You heard him speaking to his officers from the National Fire and Rescue Service that they are only here to make sure there aren't any possibility of electrical shock by turning the breakers down and making sure they can turn off power, and then the sheriffs are the ones responsible to break into the buildings. It's not their responsibilities, so they are not doing that. They are not doing that. So there you have them. They are leaving, looking for where there's possible electricity connection, and they can turn down the breakers to make sure there are no power or what have you. But those are the folks from the National Fire and Rescue Service. And then while they're getting protection from the police, they're also playing their part. So we're hoping that once it gets a little clearer, we can go back and show you some of the places where we were showing you once it was dark. So let's see if we can go back in there and show you some of the places that are the folks. But right here, if you look closely, these are some of the belongings of presumed partisans who were occupying this place. You're seeing mattresses, and then if you look at these structures were also being used by partisans for businesses. But if you can come closer, there are also alcoholic beverages being sold here in this particular vicinity. This is what one of the shops looks like. If you look in here, this is what one of the shops looks like in there. If you just turn the light on, you're looking at chairs, plastic chairs, you're looking at tables, but most of these structures are just makeshift structures, temporarily erected from what it looks like. As you can see, if you look in there, they're all built using zinc, plau. In the Liberian palette you will say wawa, and then also there are these campaign flyers, tarpaulins, campaign billboards, flyers being used to erect these structures. So they are obviously makeshift structures. These are all temporarily built structure, but right here is the actual what looks like a permanent structure that has been erected and has several compartments. If you can just look in here, if you look in there, there are folks residing there, and shoes all being thrown out by authorities. And so it's a long queue. This portion is where the residents were, and then if you look on the right hand side, what looks like the portion where goods were being sold, they all look like shops. So that's the back entry. Earlier we were there and the police actually cracked it open. But let's go back to where they are knocking and trying to open. And here we have what looks like another 3 to 4 bedroom compartment, fully solar, fully air conditioned also. But the police are trying to crack it open, or the sheriffs are trying to crack it open. So there you have it. So the sheriff will try to open. Interesting. The sheriff is now digging to make sure they can open this highly protected door.
missing in the wall and to get.
And so this place looks like it's quite reinforced with concrete, and it appears difficult for him to get access in there. But again, this is where we are. So folks, like we've kept saying, there's not the presence of anyone. We've not seen any retaliatory action from anyone basically this morning since we came. So we've seen the presence of we've seen folks burning tires this morning at the front of the headquarters of the CDC. We've noticed the folks burning tires this morning at the front of the CDC headquarters. But again, we have not seen anything of such since the police started to execute the eviction order from the court. So the sheriff here is still trying his possible best to see if they can make their way in. But let's just show you around what the presence of police looks like as compared to what it was this morning. Now,
yeah, but what's it going bring it in?
Join this station next Saturday for a fresh edition. We got 16 minutes from 7 o'clock. The opens this morning.
so the folks are still trying their possible best to see if they can crack this door open, but it appears to be quite difficult from what it looks like. I mean, the iron gate alone can tell you this building looks like it looks highly secured from what I'm looking at. And most of the structures is one of the structures that has is fully AC. You know, it has if you look on the roof, it has a solar, an entire solar system attached to it. So probably it appears it could be one of the structures being occupied probably by one of the hierarchies of the party, or the CDC might have been using this particular structure for a purpose very significant for them to have made this very secure, for which it appears to be very difficult for the sheriff to crack into it. If you look closely, the concrete has been forced, and the iron gate, looks double and very difficult to crack for the sheriff. Amongst several other structures, like the other structures that the sheriffs have broken into already. So he appears to be making some small efforts, but this is just the first layer from what it looks like. There's the actual door itself.
So this the sheriffs are running for their money. They've spent a lot of time trying to open this particular place. They haven't yet moved HQ building that's around the George properties buildings.
The VCD, the CDC.
Yes,
Oh yeah, the CDC.
So of course it still appears that this door is obviously still giving the sheriff
That's what use my own. Yeah, your phone?
so
switch. So folks, we've still seen.
So folks, good morning. We are here at the headquarters of the former ruling CDC, where the civil law court at the Temple of Justice presided over by George Dennis Smith using a rule into the case. CDC versus the Stubberfield family, and the ruling went against the CDC, and currently the sheriff from the civil law court at the Temple of Justice currently carrying on the eviction order.
okay, we'll open it. So now, after hours of banging, this fellow has now emerged.
Of course,
Was inside and was
after
asked
hours of
to open
banging,
this door.
after hours of banging at the door, there's now a resident of the building. According to him, he been locked up. He's been, according to him, they have locked the door and have taken the key. So the police spokesperson is engaging the person who claims to have been asleep, and so according to him, he didn't hear the banging from the sheriff, and he's now according to him, he has been asleep. He was asleep.
No, I just asked you because the reason why I asked you because they come out with it,
Go a little closer.
how many minutes? Yeah, happy to see yeah, when you sleeping in the room, I said, yeah,
who has the key, you come to the car.
the guy who has a key, where is he? How do you unlock the door and carry a key and you sleeping? So what's
So folks, we'll go to the entry. We are getting information of an excavator or a yellow machine being brought to bring down some of these structures, but we are yet to see. So we want to go through it. But folks, just have a glance of what the compound looks like. You are seeing police officer, but behind us, this is the main headquarters, the main HQ building, but they have not touched it. Another group of sheriff, of course, as you can see at the main entry, are coming in there. But we just want to show you what the action looks like from the main entry, obviously. Now with the barricade that have been created by the police, and we are looking at a load bay crossing along the road. This means obviously it might have brought probably an excavator or a bulldozer or something to maybe help execute this eviction, but let's make our way there and show you again. So the action here at the the main entry of the CDC keeps increasing. Eventually, by the minute, there is a bulldozer right here at the main entry of the party headquarters. There is a bulldozer here at the main entry. So there you have it. If you look closely, folks, here on just a little minute, let me stand here behind us. As you can see, it's a bulldozer behind us. An excavator, of course, is right here at the entry, the main entry of the CDC. And so it appears this particular excavator is going to be used to probably bring down some of these structures as part of the eviction that is actually taking place, if you look closely. But let's go around here. If you look on the ground also, you will notice the remains of the tires that were being burnt by those. But let's show you right here at the main entry. So you look here, written on it, in the Chinese name, Long King excavator. What probably might be demolition, of course, of some of the structures, or it could be the main entry. I don't know if this is all part of the eviction, but obviously it will be used, because I can guarantee you it wasn't brought to just stay here at the main entry of the CDC. So if you look on the floor, these are the spots of this particular excavator while making its way here. So like I told you earlier, there are no vehicles plying this particular location if you look closely. So once I saw a low bay driving in here, I knew right away there was an action taking place. If you look behind me, also coming from the Congo Town, and there are also no vehicles coming in this direction. There is a barricade as far as the Nigeria embassy, and there is another one ahead of us. If you look closely at the Oro Junction, somewhere closer to the home of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, or the famous Invincible Spokespark. But folks, the excavator is right here, and obviously now that the property is the eviction court order is being executed, we don't know if this excavator is being brought to remove this particular symbol and obviously put it down. From what it looks like, this is what is going to happen, but stick and stay with us. We're going to watch and see if that is exactly what is going to happen from where we stand currently. The folks are already up. If you notice, the driver of the excavator is already seated. He might probably be waiting for orders to execute whatever instructions he will get from his superiors. It could be bringing down the giant size CDC that you're looking at. What might be an end to the occupation of this particular environment by the former ruling establishment, the Coalition for Democratic Change. Wherever you're watching and following from this morning, as early as 4 to 5 a.m. in fact, there were police officers on the grounds of the CDC this morning. We also witnessed retaliatory action from young people who were in the compound of the CDC, burning tires right here at the entrance. So currently what's happening now, the folks are refueling. So basically the folks are refilling the excavator, and once that is done, I want to assume they will be giving an instruction, because obviously they are here to execute an instruction. And once they are done refueling, let's all of us stick around and see what's going to happen eventually. But we are being told they're going to break down this particular gate or the entry that has the giant size CDC written on it. So folks, see for yourselves the action this morning, the execution of the court warrant, or you can call it the eviction order from the courts. And on the other end, right here before the Lone Star Cell headquarters, there is a huge presence of police officers. Lots of them are the police chiefs. If you look closely, there are police vehicles and head of detachments are here. When I mention detachments, we're talking the joint security. In fact, we're talking the National Fire Service, we're talking the police support unit, we're talking the emergency response unit. Now the excavator has been powered on. The excavator has been powered on already, so it appears it's about to carry out whatever instruction it has been given. And so there you have it. He's going to swing it around, and it's now moving. It's now moving. Have a glance for yourself. Yeah. So he's going to take instruction from his superior. Have his door closed. Turn up his protective gears. He will turn on his protective gear, and he goes up. And of course, yes, like we predicted, he will obviously bring down the famous CDC. And there it goes. There it goes. There it goes, guys. You just witnessed the excavator breaking down the famous CDC mural or entry right here at the entry of the headquarters. See the actions for yourselves. And there he goes. All right, so that's it, folks. That's it. There you have the excavator has brought down the entire CDC, and it's making its way into the headquarters of the. It's making its way into what is now the former headquarters, or what looks like. What now looks like the former headquarters of the famous CDC, and he's going to use. Come in this other direction and clear. You will now clear the rubble from the floor. You will now clear the rubble from the floor. And now look closely. We also seen. Still witnessing the arrival of top police officers. We cannot tell who is currently arriving. The action continues. There you have it. The excavator still cracking down the entry. There you have it. It will remove this other portion, just breaking it down portion by portion, segment by segment. The previous one was already brought down. giant-sized pillows, strong deep into the ground, are being brought down in an effort to honor an eviction order from the courts. And this excavator right before us here is also joining security apparatus in the sheriffs from the court to execute this eviction order. And there it goes. And there it goes. Another structure brought down here. Another structure brought down. And removing these giant-sized pillows from the ground. See the actions for yourselves, folks. See the actions for yourselves. Just a few minutes ago, we were in there and we were showing you sheriffs moving from one structure to the other. But now we have a yellow machine digging out the main entry that was bearing the logo and, of course, the inscription CDC brought down. So where are you watching us from? Where are you following from? Kindly leave your comments in the comment section. The eviction of the CDC from their party headquarters is finally taking place. Now there are more tools being brought in by sheriffs. As you can see, they are throwing more tools into the compound there, taking pingales, decals, shovels, you name it, jumping the fence also, in an effort to execute the eviction. So let's go, Chief. We want to go in there. We want to break into the main HQ. So we want to show you what's going to be happening. Yes, we want to make our way in there quickly. Show you. So it appears they're about to break into the main HQ building. So we're going to make our way there and show you. So let's see if we can go a little closer. It appears the sheriffs are about to break into the main HQ building. So if that isn't the case, we're going to come right back, show you the action. But still in here, we're still seeing officers still in here in the compound. So we're going to go there. Let's go and just show you this famous building that was a little tough for the officers. It appears they've broken into it already. So let's see if we can show you so you have a glimpse of what's going on already. It took the sheriffs quite a long time to break into this place. So there you have it. There you have it. They're throwing stuffs out, and this one's to look a little organized. You're seeing the chairs out there. There are chairs and all of that. There. So there you have it. The cushion chairs being brought out. The chairs being brought out from this one building that was quite difficult for the police to have access to. And there you have it. They're bringing out freezers and on an interesting end, the police officers having fun with one of the pets here. Also, they'll bring.
So the sheriff is calling for officers to go inside. Something illegal has been found.
They are now inviting police officers into the room. It appears that there might have been a discovery. We got to now focus on your camera, not Dave. Let's go in there. So we're currently. So yes, this is actually for transparency. We appreciate if the fellow out there doesn't shout at us the way he's doing it. He has to. We have to respect each other, please.
So what is it for?
So yes, let's just work together. We'll really appreciate if we work together. Fine, thank you. We don't have a problem once you get order. So we want to see what has been found by the officers. We're called in. Yes, of course, we are being told that this particular residence or this house where we find ourselves. So there is a box. There is a small box that has been formed, and we are being told it's a box of bullets in it. There you have it. And there you have it. There is a box that has bullets in it.
So there is a box that has. This should be one of the handguns.
Alright, so we are being told
Because you keep pulling.
Very clean box.
So folks, the Liberia National Police.
He refused to open the door.
Two shots in
Where are you from? Police were taking out. They didn't hear the police saying that you should come out. Who moved this house? At the early morning, you say you died. You said the house for you. Why you are doing that? What were you doing there this early morning? How long have you been in this house? Did you stash anything away, sir? Why did you refuse to open the door? And now he's not saying anything. He said he was holding the house and bullets. So everything.
So folks, the Monatech building, the famous vocational school here that was constructed by the CDC, is currently being brought down by the orders of the civil law court at the Temple of Justice in Monrovia, presided over by Judge Smith. So to finally, the civil law court at the Temple of Justice, the eviction order is currently been executed. This has been long overdue, and this case has lingered around the Temple of Justice for a couple of years now, since the court ruling. The lawyer representing the CDC also filed a petition before the Supreme Court of Liberia and they submit the Liberia rules and send the case back to the civil law court to resume jurisdiction. Now,
but now the building being brought down, as you can see from behind me, is the famous Munatech. The famous Munatech building. This is the famous Munatech building. Well, here, miss. So there's a raffle that has been discovered. There's a raffle that has been discovered, and the police are trying to unwrap it. The raffle has been discovered by the police. The raffle. There's another raffle here. But you gotta be testing it. This is evidence. Yeah, it's okay. That's another raffle. And the police are trying to unwrap it. The police are trying to unwrap it. This looks like a Winchester or a snapper, and this particular weapon was beneath the bed. It was beneath the bed. Two rifles being discovered already. What looks like a snapper rifle. Two weapons discovered already. Two weapons already discovered. Two rifles already discovered. There have been two rifles that have already been discovered by police, and the police will now secure them. There you have it. The officers. Let's go this way. Yeah, I'm hoping the officers will use hand gloves. I'm hoping. But these are two rifles. These are two rifles that have been discovered. So they are being taken out. And these do not look like and they both look brand new. Two rifles, these two rifles both look. Aaron, come close to the top there. So two rifles discovered. Two rifles discovered by the police. Two rifles discovered by the police. Two rifles already discovered by the police. And while the rifles are being taken out, demolition continues. While the rifles are being taken out, demolitions continue. So while the rifles are being taken out, demolition of the compound continues. If you can see, there is one of the rifles in the back. There is one in the back. There is another one that is visible, what looks like a snapper has a monitoring mechanism on top of it, or a monitoring gear, if you might call it. I'm not experienced in weapons, but the police are going out with this one. So while the officers careful, while the officers are going out with these rifles, the demolition of the headquarters during the eviction continues. So there you have it. So these rifles are going to be taken in by the police. Earlier we also found a packet of bullets from handguns. So they will be submitted to head officers. So they are now being handed over to 102. Brand new rifle. Two brand new rifles. There are also military boots. Also security boots. A pair of military gear and security boots. Come here, Aaron. All right, all right. 102 says there are no further comments. So the rifles are being loaded into this pickup truck, where they will be. They are being disarmed. If you can notice, the officer will disarm these rifles, remove the bullets and what have you from in there. But amongst discovery we've made already, we've seen a pack of handgun bullets. We've also now seen two rifles, one lying on the floor on the side of the room, another one. Aaron, quick. There are also handguns, bullets from handguns that were found. The officers is trying to put them into the vehicle. So there you have it. He's just putting them on display, trying to make sure how many they are. And then there are also tie wraps. If you can see, there are also tie wraps. All of these are military gears that are used, and so the officers will protect these. And so, folks, the eviction continues. Yes, just we'll stay here. If you notice behind me, that vehicle that you're noticing is taking with it several arms and ammunition, if I may say it that way. We've seen the police discover two firearms, and they've also discovered ammunitions that's bullets belonging to shotguns. You just noticed one of the officers picking them up, and so the officers will have placed these weapons in that vehicle, and they're going to take them to their headquarters for investigation, obviously. But the eviction continues. There's also demolition ongoing. We noticed the excavator demolishing one of the famous structures that was erected in the party headquarters. That's the Munatech, the CDC Vocational Training Institute has been it's being demolished as we speak. It's being demolished as we speak. So we're going to go back over there and show you the demolition process and show you the action as it happens. And once we get an additional information on any discovery, we will come over quickly and show our cameras. But yes, the police have discovered, according to them, two firearms beneath the bed in one of the residents here in the party headquarters. Presumably, we cannot independently verify that this structure belongs to the Secretary General of the Coalition for Democratic Change. That's Jeff Koji. Unconfirmed information has it that the structure where the rifles were discovered was his residence for quite a while. But this is the famous Monatech building that is being demolished now. Let's go the other way. We are being told the officers are still, or the sheriffs are still executing their orders. Are still executing their orders. Now, come to think of it, if you noticed, right when this government, we are told, we still continue. We're still making our way into segments of this compound. Here in the back, there are other structures here, this side of the compound, there are other structures that the officers, along with the sheriffs, are trying to break into. We still have police officers in almost every location of the compound, and there are other structures here that they are about or have broken into already, as you can see. If you look closely, so they're still searching. There are also Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency officers from the LDA are also here, along with the police.
So it's a joint effort here now.
So obviously it is a joint effort. The LDA is also part of this process.
Some level of
if you noticed, also in previously there were 2 rifles discovered by the police. If you have been following us from the onset of this broadcast, there was this particular building that the police found it very difficult to get into. Fully secured, reinforced concrete, and of course eventually once the police entered, they according to them discovered 2 rifles and ammunitions, that's bullets for shotguns. So the action continues, tearing down structures for one, but these ones look like makeshift structures.
This one will be cut down.
And so Combat is about to use the iron.
How is it in there? Can you see the dark place? Can you see the dark place? When you have to put
So the LDA officers are making sure they can make their way in there. Well, I overheard from one of the officers that this structure might be what looks like a ghetto, but we cannot confirm that.
Where is tension?
That's now here, 1 second, let me stay here. So what you just witnessed are efforts by the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. I don't know what information they have about this particular vicinity or this particular side of the party headquarters, but the Liberia National Drug Enforcement Agency have focused their efforts at the back of the headquarters, where we see lots of makeshift structures, and they are moving from one of these structures to the other, and they are pulling out stuff, but we have not seen any discovery of anything drug related, but the Liberia are focusing their efforts on this particular end of the building, and they are thoroughly searching. We might come back and see if they make any discovery. But let's show you the demolition process as it continues of the famous Munantec vocational institution, the TVET building. Is being brought down by this excavator. I go this way. So there you have it for yourself. The excavator continues. The excavator continues to bring down structures. And of course, this particular edifice was being used for TVET, vocational skill training. If you look closely, there are classroom chairs already. 2-story structure, and being brought down by this excavator this morning. So there you have it. breaking down the walls, bringing down the walls from one structure to the other. Earlier, there was the main entry that was being brought down, but now is the famous Vocational Skill Training Institute, Munatech, as you know it.